Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tao of the Day. This is Martin John, and I am here to talk to you about the Tao Te Ching. So, I've been thinking a lot recently about how we want things, and how the world has evolved, and how big things replicate small things, and small things turn into big things, and how the mind works, and how we have like have a system of advertising and marketing and all these things and all this stuff in the world. And it's a real shame, because the mind is constantly active, and the mind is constantly trying to tell us what's right and what's wrong and what's good and what's bad, and trying to compare us to others. And the Tao really looks at this idea of like comparing ourselves to others and says, no, you have nobody to compare to. All of the struggle and all of the difficulty in life comes when you start comparing, contrasting, and building these um um what's the word I'm looking for? Not irrational, but like arbitrary. When you start building these arbitrary spectrums of what's right and what's wrong, if there was no spectrum, and if we didn't have any way of measuring, and if we didn't look at measuring, then you would be perfect just as you are. And that's really what the Tao is speaking about, and the biggest things replicate the smallest of things, right? So that whole as above, so below. And we don't understand, we can't understand the whole of all things, because if we could, well, everything would be so easy. But we attempt to, because we attempt to think that we can control things. One of the great things about the Tao is it really kind of tells you, like, you're not in control. This isn't you. If you look at all the things that you've done in your life, it's not been you. I know you want it to be. I know we all like to embrace our egos and embrace our abilities, and we want to say we did this and we want this. And the Tao really says drop all those desires, just be here and be quiet. The last time I the last time I did, and I don't do this very often, the last time I did psychedelics, which I believe was last year, in the summer. It was, I did a very large dose, but one of the things that my goal was to get underneath the dose, get underneath, so that even though I was experiencing in my body something, that would be known as hallucinations, I would not be subject to them. I would not be subject to them. And this was coming very much as a who am I? Am I this person who is hallucinating, or am I more? Because if I'm just this person hallucinating, then I am the body, and I am the mind that can be altered at any moment. But if you can get underneath that, and you can kind of have the experience of not, of that part of you that is not being affected by hallucinogens, like that is who you are. And that doesn't have to do, that doesn't have to be, that doesn't, like, it is just, it is. And that is the connection. And, that is something that I think about a lot. Not a lot. I thought about it enough to be able to mention it. So it's remarkable in some fashion. So I remarked upon it. But what I'm here to do, and what not here on wisdom, but here, as alive, as an alive person, is to really know who I am, and to really understand who I am. I look out at the world, and everyone is knowing themselves as not someone else. Well, I am me, as opposed to you being you. No, you are you regardless. I read a verse yesterday, and I may have wrote notes about this idea that Tao life is a gift from Tao, and everything is sustained to support that gift, right? So your life, your individual personal life, is a gift to you from Tao. Now, everything on the planet, everything in the universe, is being sustained in order for you to explore that gift. And that is beautiful, right? That's what Tao is. It's here to support your gift, you exploring this gift. It'd be like, giving someone giving someone a gift without the batteries. It's like, okay, well, I can't even enjoy this yet. I have to wait until stores open, like if it's on Christmas. I have to wait till stores open tomorrow to get a battery to enjoy the gift that you gave me today. But life isn't like that. Life is a complete package. And your gift of life, part of that gift is the sustaining of all other things. And all other things are being sustained as gifts as well. When we start to compare and contrast and tell other people like, oh, this is who I am, well, you're just limiting your ability to utilize that gift. Your life is the gift that keeps on giving. And if you can open yourself up to receive, well, then that's a great opportunity for you. I don't know what I did, but someone rang the doorbell, and I'm at my sister's house, so I got to check that out, and see if it's just a package or if it's somebody. Yeah, it was just a package. So I'm just gonna let that go. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I just ripped my my charger out of the wall because I'm in a makeshift. Office today, and so I'm gonna put that back together, and then I'm gonna get back to the down. I need to be able to get out of my comfort zone sometimes, and here we are, plugged in. And I don't know why I got out that way. That's weird. Okay. So I was talking about, like this whole idea of being present, being us. And being us doesn't mean being us as it relates or compares to someone else. I don't know if this is going to fit in, but I'm going to pick number 27 today. It was funny. Earlier I thought of 19, and it just came back to me. So I am going to pick 19. I don't know if I wrote notes for 19 yet. I did, but, well, let's see what it says. Earlier I just thinking, and like the number 19 came to mind, and I just remembered that when I was picking number 26. So I've been writing notes for all of these. Oh, wait. Lois is here. It's been a while since I talked to Lois. Let's see what Lois has to say.
Hey, my
Lois, I hear you're gonna
head.
go. I hear you're gonna go visit with Cece.
Yeah, I just finished packing.
Mm, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to hang out. You're
I
going up to
can't wait.
Colorado.
I can't wait till you get settled because I'm coming in.
Oh
Nah.
man, yeah. Hopefully, Empress will be up in the area, and we'll all have a party.
Okay. Okay. So
How have you
I
been?
was I've
Before,
been good. I've been good. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been, like I was, like I'm here at my sister's, and I'll be here for a couple weeks um, while she's doing some traveling. She'll be in and out, and yeah, and you know, uh, Andy and I aren't as together as we were, and so I'm not going up to New York while I'm here. That was the plan, but that's not happening. And things kind of ebb and flow. We're still talking, and we're still good and everything, but things are shifting.
Well, everything always ebbs and flows, and because it's a time of always a time of uncertainty, and then you have to trust what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is, because I've had people in my life for freaking years and years and years. Sometimes we don't talk
Yeah.
often, but Like I have one friend, we've been friends for shit. How old am I? For 50, 52 years.
Oh yeah.
I don't talk to her every day, but when I see her, she see me, or when we talk for hours, and
Yeah.
it's like it ain't never broke apart or anything like that. And then it builds, and it builds,
Yeah.
and recently it builds it again. So we, it's like things are in season.
That's right. That's
And we
right.
got, and if we don't recognize that things are in season, we get stuck on, oh, it's supposed to be summer, it's still summer. It's supposed to be
That's
still
right.
summer. It's supposed to be still summer. No, no, we got to go
No,
into
this is
fall,
this
and
is
in a
where we're at.
minute we gonna go into winter, and that's in all relationships. That's with your money. That's with your time. That's with your
Mhm.
spirituality. That's with everything under the sun. It goes in seasons.
That's right.
And if we recognize that, we don't fret when things fall apart, because we know that they were in season, now they're out of season.
Yeah, and it's
Or
not, and that's the thing. Like falling apart is something that we put on it. It's not falling
yeah,
apart. It's
no,
just
it's
what it
not.
is. There's actually so much growth in everything, and I'm so grateful for everything that I'm going through and everything that I will go through and everything that
Yeah.
I have gone through with Andy. I mean, Andy's beautiful, and I love her so much, and I'm so grateful for everything that I'm learning along the way.
And that's what this is all about, because we learn about ourselves in relationship to others. If you had not been in a relationship, you wouldn't have learned whatever lessons you're learning. And
Mm.
then there's still more to learn because you're still in relationship. You
That's
feel
right.
me? So you'll never,
Yep, yep, yep. And
like I
that's what we've
said.
been talking about. So
Okay,
that's, yeah, that's beautiful.
so yeah, that's so look, and from a marriage and family therapist, you in a good place.
Yeah,
You're in
I
a good
see it.
place. Okay.
All
It may
right,
not
so
feel too good right now. Okay, but you in a good place.
I know,
Because
I
when
know,
it don't feel good.
I celebrate these things, and it's something that I've been through before, so it's not like it's too it's not foreign to me.
Yeah,
So what do we got? We got a number today.
uh I had so many numbers doing stuff when I was driving to Arizona and California, on, I think it was last Monday. I know, last Thursday. Because I ended up in three states in one day. It was so
Oh
much fun.
damn.
Yeah, that was fun though. And then
Yeah.
came home and rode with the motorcycle group.
Oh, good on you.
Okay, but I was tired the next day, but it was
Oh
all
yeah.
good. But I still rode again. But the whole thing is that we never know what state we're gonna be in. Regardless, we don't know what state we go, because our state of mind and our state of being are all in season.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I had fun. I ended up going to Arizona, Lake Havasu, because when I was going to Needles to get to get the title to my car that my daughter had left me,
Mm,
and I was having problems, and it was in California.
mm.
So I went to California to get that taken care of. They took care of that right away. It was like no problem, and then they sent it back twice because it wasn't right, or something was missing, and they never told me. So I figured I'm just gonna walk in. So I drove to California. When I
Yeah.
was getting too close to California, I saw that Lake Havasu was only 49 miles away. And I was like, shit, I always wanted to go to Lake Havasu. So I left Needles and then went to Arizona.
And there you
and
go.
and on the way there was a river, and there was a river in the Colorado River. So on the way back, after going to Lake Havasu and seeing that beautiful water, I went to the Colorado River and hung out there with my dog for a little while back in
Aw.
California. So it was a very full day, and it was so cleansing.
Mhm.
I can't. That's the best word to describe it. It was cleansing.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and then I thought it was funny that I was in three states in one day. I was like, what? I didn't know all these states. I was that close to all that.
Yeah. It's
But you
beautiful.
never know until you step out your comfort zone. Because generally, I would have went into Barstow, or somewhere close to going into Los Angeles area or Orange
Yeah.
County area of California. But this time I said, no, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go off the beaten path. I'm gonna go to Needles. Never heard of it before. It's back roads all the way. But
Nice.
it
That's
was it
that's
was
it's
it was
fun.
cool.
Push yourself.
Yes. Okay, so let's go with 51, because that's one of the numbers that kept appearing for me.
And just like we were talking about earlier, this is entitled The Cycle.
Oh. Okay.
Life is a gift received from Tao. It sustains all things as part of that gift. Everything emerges perfect, unconscious, and free, harmonizing with all things, completely maturing in its own time. All things exist and are nurtured through Tao. It fosters and provides for them completely. Tao does not possess or interfere, each expressing and maturing in their own nature. When their experience is complete, Tao receives them again.
Oh, that's just perfect. That's the season. So just
Right, yeah.
that's the talk we had before the reading.
That's right, yeah.
That's
You know,
so
I I
serendipitous.
I really love this, this idea that life is a gift received from Tao and sustains all things as part of that gift.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is this idea that like everything, like you are gifted with life and
Mm-hmm.
I am being sustained as part of your gift of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We're all we
Arizona, the
all are
water that you
intertwined.
explored, everything is being sustained as part of the gift that you're receiving.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just that was beautiful. Like I said, it just described everything. That everything is all intertwined and interconnected, and it's going to go through whatever it's going to grow through, and you got to grow through whatever you go through. You don't
Hmm.
go through it; you got to grow through it, and when you grow through it, you go to higher levels, and then you go through your ebb and flow, and then you return to the pure light energy. It's a season. We're here for this season, you know.
Yeah. You know, this next line is everything emerges perfect, unconscious, and free, harmonizing with all things, completely maturing in its own time. I
Hmm.
was talking about this one not long ago, and I like how we address this as like even a relationship
Yeah,
merges perfect, unconscious, and free, and harmonizes with all things, completely maturing in its own time.
that's right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we were talking about earlier, a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's real.
You know, as it matures, it's going to go through the growing pains of growing,
And it's
and
gonna have shitty times because you
it's
gotta get the fertilizer.
mhm.
Okay,
And
so
as it goes through those shitty times, those times that we judge as shitty or whatever, we can
uh
it's going to learn and it's going to be and it's going to mature.
that's right. That's right. And that can be said for our relationship with ourself.
Mhm. Well, that's the only relationship there is,
Okay. Well, but the thing is, our relationship with ourselves is our relationship with others. Because as
That's
we
right.
treat ourselves, that's how we're going to treat others. As we see
Mhm.
ourselves, that's how we're going to see others. That's why all that projection goes on. And I always tell people, you got to look back at it. That's you.
That's
That is,
right. Always you.
it's always you. Yeah. And when you take conscious responsibility for the fact that you are a party to every situation that you ever been in.
Mhm.
And that you have an energetic part to play, whether you knew it or not, because whether we know things or not, we're still held accountable to the laws of the universe. Okay, just and ignorance of the law is no excuse for, whatever. That's what they
That's
say.
right. Ignorance of the law is no defense.
It's no defense because the thing is, the law is the law. If I break a law and didn't know I broke a law and I go to jail, I'm in jail because I broke a law. And the thing is, sometimes we break laws and we don't realize we're breaking laws. But when we grow, we get to go look back at it and then say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you," and let that shit go. And
Mhm.
stuff becomes then fertilizer for further growth. So this man, this is good. Go ahead. What's next?
And then, like all things exist and are nurtured through Tao. It
Mm-hmm.
fosters and provides for them completely.
Mm-hmm.
And we could trust that. If we could trust that you are being provided for, then
Mm-hmm.
I can calmly allow you to do what you're doing. And if that means that like, oh, you're being provided for by not speaking to me at this moment, and that's okay. Like that's not what's going on with me anywhere, but that's like this idea that we could be calm knowing that you're being provided for. It's not my job, but if I wanted to, I could be in collaboration with Tao and help provide for you as well. If
That.
that is what I'm called to do. But if it's not what I'm called to do, I don't have to feel guilty or shame or anything. I know that all things are being provided for.
And that's like my relationship with my adult children. About this weekend I spent time with my oldest daughter for like 3 days over there. I stayed over there after we finished riding and stuff. And I was just over there because I didn't feel like going home, and I had the dog with me, so I was like, "What the hell," you
Yeah.
know? And we just hung out, and she was free to be herself, and her dishes were dirty. I didn't care. This
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't care about shit. That's her house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let her be herself and allow her to be herself, because at the end of the day, she's responsible for herself and how she lives and what she does and stuff. So I just accept people just as they are. And then I didn't have to do anything, but before I left, because this is her birthday month, I gave her first birthday present. I cleaned up everything.
Yeah.
She she was in shock, but and very appreciative. But that wasn't something I had to do. But it was she was supported in what you know what I mean, in
Yeah.
being her. She didn't feel like she had to. Oh, I gotta go clean up. My mama's staying over. Oh, let me clean up while I'm sitting there. Let me clean this up. Let me wash these dishes because
Yeah.
you didn't have to do none of that shit. I ain't give a fuck. Huh?
That's
That's her
right.
house. That's her. That's where she live. You know what I mean? And I figure when she ready, she gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
And
that it provide, like I said, the Tao provide. I don't have to worry about that.
that's right. And it goes into this next line: Tao does not possess or interfere, each expressing and maturing in their own nature.
Yeah.
And that's what you trusted. You were able to trust that your daughter's going to mature and express in their own nature. Like you said, when she's ready, she's going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to possess or interfere and say, "Oh, this has to be done,"
No.
but you can express in your own way by giving that as a gift.
Yeah. Because I understand. I know the desire was for her to do it, but she's been so busy trying to get out of her comfort zone and
Yeah.
motorcycles with us and all that kind of stuff, and not go to some of the same places, getting this mindset changed. And she's doing so good. I'm like, shoot, man, I could wash dishes. I can clean up the living room, dining room, and dust. That ain't gonna hurt me to do that before I leave. So the whole thing is I can support her in whatever she's doing. I don't have to take over. I don't have, and she don't have to feel like when I come over her house, I'm judging her.
Yeah.
Because I remember I used to have to hurry and clean up my house before my mama came over because I knew she.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My mama's the same way.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Oh, I used to did not like that at all. You know,
Yeah, no,
I still
nobody
kind of
does.
I'm still trained to do that stuff, but I no, I don't try
Yeah.
not to enter into it if I can. Sometimes it's just automatic pilot.
Right, yeah. And that's
You
all
know that.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah. And then this one just wraps up. When their experience is complete, Tao receives them again. And that's just so beautiful. Like this idea that like you receive them again and you just dropped off so you can come back up if you'd like and then we can wrap this up. This idea of receiving it again, we could look at that as death, but it could look at all of this as being like when we have an experience that we need to go through,
hmm
we can go through that experience and let it go
hmm
because Tao will receive it again
yeah,
and we can learn
and we
from it.
can
We
have a
don't
new,
have to
and we can
carry
have
it for the rest
everything
of our
is a
life.
new every day, every moment is new. And we always can begin again no matter where we fall off the horse. We can get right back up and get on the horse. And the thing is when it comes to our vibration and how we operate in this world, the trick is getting on a horse faster each time you fall off.
Yeah, just going right back in it.
Just gets
Like
getting
don't
gets getting right back up and not
yeah,
not wallowing in like clay. How did I fall? Who made me fall? Why am I
right.
falling? Get your ass up, get on the horse, and then figure it out.
Yeah, who cares? Like and I tell people all the time this idea that it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter why, doesn't matter how, those
hmm
things don't matter. Those
No,
things are
it don't.
distractions. Those things
Yes.
are distractions from you
Yes. Yes.
actually getting your shit done. Because when you say, I was telling someone the other day, it's like, when you say I'm sad because of ABC, well, it's just like, well, maybe you're sad because of ABC, but maybe you're sad because of things that you have no idea even exist. Maybe
Yeah,
you're
maybe you
sad
said because
because,
it's automatic pilot, because your
right,
body becomes your body takes all the hits,
right.
and once it's programmed to respond in a crappy way to crappy shit, and I'm just putting it out like because people say
Hmm.
that all the time, it's programmed to do that, and that's why change is a little bit hard because your body wants to stop you from that growth of that thing that you may be addicted to or whatever. Your body is saying, no, we got to go get it because this is normal. This is normal. This is abnormal. This is scary. There's nothing. I mean, what do you do this? Because you don't know what's going to go next. But if every day is like the first day of school, just be excited.
That's right.
I use school because I love school.
Yeah, I hate it, but
Okay,
that
well,
ain't
whatever
my.
you love.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Your first day, your first picture you drew that you actually realized that, hey, I'm fucking great.
Yeah,
Or your first kiss. You can remember that shit. Okay. you know so
can't
whatever
imagine.
that first is that gets you excited and get those juices flowing, just
Yeah,
just know that every day and every moment can be like that if you leave the past where it is in the fucking past.
that's right. That's right.
But I love you,
I
Martin, and
love you.
I will talk to
Before
you
you
soon.
go, I wanted to
Uh-huh.
ask. I know. Everything with your brother. How's is anything progressing on that?
No, I just like I said last, I got that Facebook text
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
responded to it and he hasn't responded back. So
Okay.
I'm gonna let it go, but because that's far, it's further than it was, what, 2 years ago
No,
when
I get you.
okay, because like I said, hey, the letter came. I mean the voicemail came first, and
Mhm.
then 6 months later I get a Facebook message.
Yeah.
So it's
Keep it
moving.
coming.
I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
it's
be
moving.
patient. I
Things are
just know
moving.
that
Yeah.
as long as he here, he's gonna end up contacting us.
Yeah.
And if he don't, I'll hear from the other side.
That's right. We'll
Because
be
I
in
do
touch.
feel that I do feel when people leave. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
got those sense. I have high sensitivity to the other side. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, but
Well, I just wanted to check in on that.
oh yeah. Well, my like I said, I know I don't have a hope. I know that he's going to contact me. Okay, it's annoying. So it's just like a practice patience.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay, a practice patience. I know that sounds crazy, but it's
No, I got it.
it's
I
into it's when you know, so you can be patient because you fucking know.
Yeah. That's right.
you know.
That's right. You know.
So
So
yeah,
you just sit back and wait for it to be right.
that's right. That's
All right.
right.
Well,
Okay.
good.
Well, thank you for asking.
Give Cece a big hug from me, and we'll see you guys soon.
Okay, all right, most definitely, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye bye. All right. So that was number 51. We read 51 yesterday, and I like that we're reading 51. 51 was really nice. It really inspired me yesterday to think a little bit differently about it. And today it keeps getting deeper. So even though I'm kind of done with number 19, I do want to read it, I suppose. I mean, done meaning I've written my notes about it and I've kind of like gone over it and stuff. But for some reason, it was coming up today in my mind. So I'm going to read this. And it's entitled Real Education. Don't aspire to be holy or smart. You will finally find happiness. Don't inquire about morality or justice. You will finally be perfect. Don't create things in order to profit. You will finally be secure. If all that fails to inspire you, stay as humble and simple as possible, and at least you won't be selfish. Selfishness is an interesting thing, and I think that, we all deal, like, I think we're in a world of selfishness, and I think we're in a world that is praising some selfishness, and, you go out and you see people like wanting you to do what they did, like it's interesting. I've been saying things recently about this idea of helping people. A lot of people want to come out and say, I want to help people. It's like, if I really look, I mean, although that is something that I tend to do, I don't think I'm going out of my way to want to help people. I think really I want you to help yourself. And I I suppose like the work that I do to help people like see themselves um is helping them, but really it's helping me because it's really difficult for me to watch people uh fall into the category of, or into the pitfalls of all the din of the world. And when I say din of the world, I don't know if that makes sense to people, but the din of the world is the din of marketing and advertising, the din, that 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 constant noise of you're not good enough, and that constant noise of telling you that your life could be easy, and it's like your life is easy. The thing is that you make it difficult because of all the comparisons and contrasting and all of this. And here it's like, don't aspire to be holy or smart. Being holy or smart, right? Like, you aren't defining those things. Those things are being defined by external sources. Whether that, I mean, maybe you look at me and you say, oh, he's spiritually evolved or whatever. It's like, whatever. Like, not really. Like, I'm just doing my thing. Um, but if you aspire to be smart, that means you aspire to make sure other people think you're smart. I don't know why I said it that way, but other people think you're smart. Other people think you're holy, right? That's the church. That's the school. Those places are do the grading on who's smart and who's holy. And if you go out of your way, you are asking them for permission to grade you in a way that allows you to feel like you are holy or smart. So you can aspire to be those things, and when you aspire to be those things, there's some destination, there's some grade, there's some way that you can achieve that. And when you let those go, you can finally find happiness. Why? Because you're no longer looking outside of yourself for some arbitrary, to be put on some arbitrary scale. Don't inquire about morality or justice, and you'll finally be perfect. Now, I wrote this idea of like inquiring about morality or justice, right? Like, it's about, don't ask about it at all. Don't ask what's moral, because that's coming from within you, not from without. And when you are looking outside of yourself, and even if you're living under the influence, because that's the thing, we live under the influence of, social norms and justice, and this is the right thing to do. And then people look at you and say, "Isn't this right? Isn't this right to do it this way?" And it's like, well, no, it's not right to do it that way. It is what we have, that's what we've done, and so we want to believe that we're right, and so we say that it's the right way, it's the moral way, it's the just way, it's the ethical way. But those things are just learned, just like anything else. Don't create things in order to profit, and you will finally be secure. Now, this could be very difficult for a lot of people, because people are like, oh, we need money, and money is energy. And like, there's all this talk around all of the money stuff, because that is a topic that lots of people are thinking about, because it is, like, if you've heard me talk about the pre-karmic buffet, it's part of our meal is to really start to question money. And when we question money, like, it is, it's interesting if we look at money as a topic, and we look at like marijuana as a topic, we look at all of these like silly topics that we pick up out of, like, we look at rights, like gay rights and trans rights, and all of the topics that we can look at. Like, what happens is it comes up as, something that you can rail against, and then it eventually crumbles and then becomes a norm. And I think that money, what's going to happen is it's coming up as a really obvious thing, because we've hit the limit of limiting money, right? We've hit the limit of keeping it from people by having these, two huge, like, parts, right? There's rich people, there's poor people, and then we're going to exploit these things and all of that sort of stuff. And so when that starts to come into play, you have to be able to take a step back and recognize that actually this is the end of money, it's the end of creativity, it's the end of art, not creativity as creation, but it's the end of art as a thing, it's the end of money as a thing, because everything is becoming watered down, watered down, watered down, to the point of like, oh god, like this isn't even worth striving for anymore. I look out at the world as an artist and I see so many people creating stuff, and it's like, well, what's the point of creating anything if anybody can create everything? And that's what, technology has done and stuff. And that's the thing. It's like, and it's not about what's the point, but for me, it very much kind of sits in this space of like, well, it's not hard to do anymore. It's not something that, like, I can sit down and make a painting now pretty easily. I remember there was a time 30 years ago where making something, doing something, achieving something was really difficult. Now I can, like, I'm creating the Tao of the Day podcast right now while I'm talking to you, and it's very easy. There's absolutely nothing in the way of it. Every now and again I miss a day, but really I've done over 160 episodes just this year, and I did like almost 100 episodes last year. So there's 260 episodes that I've done without, almost without thinking about it. So how hard is it to make stuff? So what gives it its value? What gives it its value in my life? What gives it its value? Like, and I'm not trying to say that this doesn't have value. Of course it does. But there is a point where we move forward into the next thing. And I think the next thing is in this Tao, right? You create things. If you create things in order to profit, you will finally, if you don't create things in order to profit, you'll finally be secure. And that's the thing. Like, I think so many people are creating things with the order, with the intention of just profiting, you know. And when that happens, it's like, oh, I'll just create more and I'll make more money and I'll do more and I'll make more money. And it's like, well, are you aspiring for something? Are you trying to be moral or just or holy or smart or profit or all those things? You know? And those desires, those ideas that we have desires for stuff. It's like those desires are so empty. And then, this it wraps up. If all that fails to inspire you, stay humble and simple as possible, and at least you won't be selfish. Selfish is a big deal. Like, you don't want to be selfish in this world. You can be. There's nothing wrong with that. But the more selfish you are, the more you're going to find that it's going to cause you disruption. And that's the thing. It's gonna keep you from getting into that place that Dr. Rao always tells me to stay in, right? That place of, like, within yourself. Stay focused on the you that is you, not the you that you believe is you, not the you that is, not the you that is whatever, that is connected to the mind and body, the real you. And that's what the Tao helps us do. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If anyone has a number between 1 and 81, please join me. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up. I am Martin John, the recovery mentor. I got almost 22 years clean and sober, and a large aspect of that is because of Tao. And I am writing an app for Tao of the Day that you'll be able to download hopefully in the new year. And the Tao that I've been reading recently has been my translation. So if you have engaged with me on the Tao recently, you have done that with my translation, and I really appreciate all your support and love here on Wisdom. And yeah, until next time, keep recovering yourself.